goddamn. I got that chicken from God himself. Boy, that shit look perfect. Oh, look at them traveling. Boy, what he clean that chicken with? Oh, he got the seasoning set up like some paint. Boy, that's a damn artist. He finna Picasso that chicken. Ooh, what's the... Ooh. Oh Lord, it's about to go down. Oh Lord, ooh, that look already done. Oh Lord, it's... Cut the stove on, turn the flames up. Look at all the seasoning, hella flavor. Get the grease hot.
I hope it know about the tagging. You know this cookie's for the bagging. Kitty, baby, get her things to rest. Cause you done beat it like the 68 Jets. Diamonds are nothing when I'm rockin' with you. Diamonds are nothing when I'm shining with you. Just keep it white and black as if I'm your sister. I'm too hip to hop around town to hit with ya. I heard that pussy for the taking. I heard it got these other niggas going crazy. Yeah, I treat you like a lady. Fuck you till you burned out, cremation. Make it cream, yeah, Wu-Tang. Throw that ass back, okay. Call me and I can get it Tuesday. I can tell you gone off the doors. I hope you know about the tagging. You know this cookie's for the bagging. I heard that pussy for the taking. I heard it got these other niggas going crazy. I hope you know about the tagging. You know this cookie's for the bagging. Yeah, I treat you like a lady. Fuck you till you burned out, cremation. I know I get wow.
I know you see the drip. Let's make birria tacos.
We're gonna start off with the 4-pound chuck roast. Season with adobo.
Put the beef in the pot.
Brown on each side and then cover it with water. Add your chilies, onions, and garlic to the pot. Season with these. Now we're just gonna cover and let it simmer for about an hour. Take out all the veggies and put them in a food processor.
After about 3 hours, it should be nice and tender.
What's up guys, today we're going to be making chocolate chip cookie dough bars. Add softened butter, light brown sugar and granulated sugar to a bowl and whisk these together. Add 2 eggs and vanilla and mix these in. Then add plain flour, bicarbonate of soda and salt and mix until just combined. Add your chocolate chips and fold these in, then scoop the mix into a baking tray and spread it out evenly. Add some more chocolate chips to the top and bake for around 25 minutes. Let them cool fully and that's it, enjoy!
Today we're making cookie butter stuffed chocolate chip cookies. You want to begin with 1 cup of brown sugar, half a cup of sugar and 1 stick of cold unsalted butter chopped. Beat your butter and sugar together for 5 to 10 minutes, then add in 2 eggs, 1 at a time, a teaspoon of vanilla extract and 2 tablespoons of milk. Then add all of your dry ingredients. I'll have everything on the screen for you guys. Mix together well, then roll into balls. We're going to stuff them with frozen cookie butter balls and roll them back up. Add more Biscoff cookies on top, then bake them at 350 for 20 minutes. And you're done.
ਹੰਬੋ ਟੱਕ ਵਿੱਚ ਗੇੜੀ ਸੁੱਤੀ ਹਾਲੀਵੁੱਡ ਜੀਤੇ ਸੀ ਮੁੰਡਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਸੋਹਣੇ ਬਾਲੀਵੁੱਡ ਮਿਊਜ਼ਿਕ ਦੀ ਵੇਵਾਨਾ ਭਾਲਦੇ ਕੋਫੇ ਵਗਾਉਣਾ ਵੀ ਆਉਂਦਾ ਤੇ ਲਿਰਿਕਸ ਹੈ ਚੰਗੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਚੱਲਦੇ ਸੀ ਕਿਸੇ ਤੋਂ ਨਾ ਠੱਲਦੇ ਸੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਬਣਾਉਂਦੇ ਆ ਕਲਾਉਣ ਮੁੰਡੇ ਬਰਾਉਨ ਮੁੰਡੇ ਆਉ ਦੇਸੀ ਜੇਗੀ
Today we're making homemade birria queso tacos. I've been seeing a very Americanized version all over the internet, so today I'll be showing you guys how to make it the authentic way. Need about 6 chile guajillos, 3 chile de árbol, and about 5 ancho chiles. You want to add those to a big pot of water with 5 pounds of chuck roast, everything that I have listed on the screen as well. You want to skim the top of your broth, we want it very clean. Add a hefty pinch of salt, cover and let it cook for about 1 hour. After 1 hour, you want to take out your chiles and add them to a blender. You also want to add in some of your onions, garlic, and cinnamon stick, as well as a little bit of our beef broth. You also want to add in everything that I have displayed on the screen. You want to blend until very smooth for about 1 to 2 minutes. We're going to add that to our beef broth. Also adding in 2 boiled tomatoes that I pureed. You want to let that cook for another 2 hours. Take your meat out of your broth and strain your liquid. You want to take your corn tortillas and dip them to your strained broth. Put them to a hot pan with some butter and you want them to get nice and crispy. Add your Oaxaca cheese, your shredded beef, some onions and cilantro. Dip them into your consomme with some onions and cilantro and you're done.
Let's do some cooking.
So I tried this new restaurant today called The Kitchen, and basically the concept is that you gather all your own ingredients and make your own food. How is this place still in business? What?
This is the ultimate chicken recipe, you guys. You have to make this. Start with some salt, pepper, and olive oil and throw it on the pan, cooking both sides. After, we want to take it out, throw in some onions, cook them up, add some white wine, creme fraiche, and Dijon, the secret ingredient. Mix it all up, put your chicken back in, and oh my God, this is amazing.
We're making mozzarella stuffed crispy potato patties. They're packed full of flavor and also the perfect appetizer, so this is how I made them. You want to begin with about 6 russet potatoes. Peel, wash, and chop them up, and we want to boil them until they're fork tender. Once your potatoes are ready, it's time to season. 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter, 1 tablespoon of dried parsley, tablespoon of garlic powder and onion powder, half tablespoon black pepper, a tablespoon of paprika, teaspoon of salt, and also a half a teaspoon of cayenne. Mash it up, then you want to add 2 eggs and mix. Lastly, you want to add 1 cup of all-purpose flour. Fold everything together until it creates a nice dough. Then you want to form your dough into smaller balls and stuff it with your mozzarella cheese. Flatten it down into a patty shape, and once you're done with your entire batch, it's time to fry them. Fry on low to medium heat until they're golden brown on each side, and you're done. Full written recipe and instructions will be on my Instagram today. Today we're making kras, also known as cheese pies, and they're so satisfying to make. You want to begin with 2 tablespoons of active dry yeast, 4 tablespoons of sugar, 3 tablespoons of dry milk, and 2 cups of all-purpose flour. Lastly, add 2 cups of warm water, mix, and cover for 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, add in 3 more cups of all-purpose flour, a half a cup of olive oil, and a teaspoon and a half of salt. You want to knead your dough for 10 minutes, then add it to an oiled surface, and you should be able to create about 10 to 14 dough balls. For our filling, I have about 4 cups of mozzarella cheese, 2 cups of feta cheese, as much freshly chopped parsley as your heart desires, a tablespoon of black seeds, 1 small onion grated, as well as 1 egg. Mix together, then you want to roll out your dough. Add your filling, and then you want to slightly stretch out the corners of your dough and bring it to the center, basically creating a triangle. Pinch your seams together very well because you don't want your cheese to explode out. Brush on some egg wash and bake at 400 degrees for about 10 minutes, and you're done. Today we're making this tropical matcha smoothie bowl. The texture of the smoothie was amazing. It came out so smooth and thick, so this is exactly how I made it. I'm using my Ninja Power Duo for this video. I added frozen bananas, mangoes, and pineapples, as well as 1 teaspoon of matcha and a little bit of almond milk. You barely need any liquid for this machine, it blends so beautifully. And I'm using the built-in tamper to help push down my ingredients and help it blend more seamlessly. The consistency was a dream. It was so smooth and satisfying, as you can see here. I finished off with adding some fruit and cocoa nibs for my topping, and I was done.
Let's do some cooking.
I'm going to share my mum's secrets on how to make the crispiest and best crumb chicken, so you're just going to have to trust us on this one. Crack 4 eggs into a shallow bowl and whisk together with water and crushed garlic cloves and leave to marinate. Cut the tenderloin off the chicken breast and then using a sharp knife, cut the chicken breast in half crosswise. Place that chicken breast in between 2 pieces of Glad wrap and then use the smooth side of a mallet to pound it out until it's an even size of thickness. For the breadcrumbs, we need some finely chopped parsley and rosemary and add it to a blender with that torn up stale bread. Blend until you have a chunky texture. Whisk together some flour and salt and begin crumbing your chicken by placing it into the flour, then placing it into the egg wash and then generously coating it in those chunky breadcrumbs. Add a generous amount of olive oil to a pan and fry that chicken until it's crispy and golden. Dip it into a dipping sauce of your choice and
So right now there's a trend on TikTok to make aesthetic oatmeal, and I've never really eaten oatmeal. Like, I thought it was for motherfuckers with no teeth, but apparently a lot of people eat it. So I went to the grocery store, I bought the stuff, and we're gonna make it. Yeah, half a cup of regular oatmeal. Oh my god, this seems like a lot, bro. Okay, yeah, am I doing it right? Mix it. Some Nutella. No, this is not poop, fucking weirdo. Some bananas on there. Blubberies. Granola. Okay, this is my first bowl of oatmeal I've ever made. What do we think? Ah! Let's try it out. I'm pretty sure it's cold by now, so... Mmm!
This one was highly requested. Chicken Parmigiana. It's Italian. 1 diced onion. 3 tablespoons olive oil. We want the flavor. Cradle the heat medium to medium low so you don't burn the oil. Add your onions. Pinch, kosher salt. Saute until tender, 3 to 5 minutes. Add the garlic. Saute 30 seconds. 1/4 cup Chardonnay. Doesn't have to be expensive, but it needs to be good. 1 28-ounce can of Tutto Rosso crushed tomatoes or San Marzano. In 3/4 teaspoon dry basil. 3/4 teaspoon dry parsley. Peperoncino. Makes it spicy. Kosher salt. They're tomatoes. They need it. Pepper. Bring to a bubble. Reduce to a simmer. Fry your cutlets. I'll show you how in another video. Whole milk mozzarella. Add the chicken. Blanket with cheese. Not too much. Balance. 350 degrees, 20-25 minutes. Chiffonade basil, because you're fancy.
This Valentine's Day, skip the flowers and the chocolates and make these heart-shaped churros instead. And you don't need someone special to make these for, that just means more churros for you. So in a small bowl, whisk together some sugar and cinnamon and set that aside. Moving on to the dough, here's everything that you will need. Wrap a pot and add your water, sugar, unsalted butter, and salt. Pop it onto your stove over medium-high heat and bring it to a boil. Then drop to low, add your flour, and mix with a rubber spatula until there are no more clumps left. Now we allow the dough to cool for at least 8 minutes and add 1 egg in at a time. The dough will be elastic and slightly sticky. Cut parchment paper into squares, spray with some oil, and pipe your hearts out. Then we fry it on both sides to golden brown perfection. Last step is to toss them in the cinnamon sugar mixture and they're ready to enjoy. Serve with some caramel or chocolate sauce and there you have the perfect Valentine's Day treat.
Grown ass boy, better run for the hills. I'm just trying to keep it real, but you can't raise a man. He's already grown, what you gon' do? You wonder why he acts like a boy. It's 'cause he wasn't raised right before you. Girl, you ain't never gon' change nobody. If he don't wanna, you can't make nobody. 'Cause you can't raise a man. No, no. Coming home any time of night, expecting you to let it ride. How many tears are you gonna cry? Playing games like you'll never lose. You know that the love has changed. How many times he called you out your name? These are the signs of a grown-ass boy. Better run for the hills. I'm just keeping it real. 'Cause you can't raise a man.
Here's a quick and easy stuffed peppers recipe. Cut off the top of your peppers, run your knife along the inside, and then clean it out. For this recipe, I'm using 4 peppers. Next, you're going to oil and then season with salt and pepper, and then bake in the oven at 400 degrees for 8 minutes. Meanwhile, sear 1 pound of ground beef. Season with salt and pepper, break it up, and then let it sear for about 3 minutes. Once it has a good sear on the bottom, you can give it a mix, break it up a little more, and then add your favorite seasonings. I had a little bit of wine left over from the night before, so I'm going to go ahead and deglaze this with some red wine. Once the wine's cooked off, I'm adding my favorite marinara sauce with a little bit of water. Bring that up to a boil and then turn it down to a simmer for about 10 minutes. My peppers are done, so I'm going to remove those from the oven. Now I'm turning the heat off the stove, adding some shredded cheese, and then covering for a few minutes until it has melted. Stuff your peppers with the meat sauce, add some extra shredded cheese on top, and then cook in the oven at 350 for 8 more minutes. Enjoy! The secret to a great Philly cheesesteak is the caramelized onions. In a large sauté pan, melt half a stick of butter. Add in 1 large chopped onion. Some people prefer slices, I prefer dice. Cook on high heat for 5 minutes, constantly moving. Then turn your heat to low. Come back every 5 minutes and give it a stir. After 30 minutes, it should deepen in color and look something like this. Season with salt and pepper and set aside. Meanwhile, freeze your ribeye for 10 minutes and then cut thin slices. Pat dry with paper towel and then season all over with salt and pepper. In a large pan, heat your oil until smoking and then add in your ribeye. Sear for 1 minute and then flip over. Turn your heat off. Add in your caramelized onions, give it a stir, then add in your provolone and cover with a lid. The residual heat will melt the provolone. Meanwhile, melt a 1/4 stick of butter and chop 1 clove of garlic. Mix the two together and then brush on your rolls. With the same pan used to cook your onions, toast your rolls on low heat. Next, add your Philly cheesesteak on those rolls and you're ready to enjoy.
Let's do it. Overnight oats. 1/4 cup of oats. I usually use rolled oats, but I didn't have any. And then I add a half a banana. I usually add this first, but I forgot. So now watch me awkwardly smash them into the oats. Teaspoon of cinnamon. A tablespoon of chia seeds. This is what makes it solidify. Yep, some for that one too. I eyeball the flax seeds. It's about a teaspoon. And then I pretty much add as many mini chocolate chips as I feel like. I think they add a good crunch. I normally use almond milk, but I only had cashew, so I just fill it enough to cover the oats and all the goodies. And then sometimes I add vanilla, but I didn't have any. So you can add that as well, about a teaspoon. And then I stir it up, make sure everything's good and mixed. And then I shake it too, because I think that helps it get mixed. And then I leave it in the fridge overnight, about 8 hours. And then it gets all delish.
So tell me why I texted my ex-boyfriend to come over, because I know he was tired of Alfredo, so I finally switched it up for him. As soon as he came over, he saw my Alfredo bread bowl and looked at me and asked me if I'm stupid, and then he left. And honestly, when he did that, I was so heartbroken and confused because I really thought I was switching it up, changing the game. And he cannot tell me that he's come across a woman who's made him some Alfredo in a bread bowl before. He has it. I'm different. But anyways, I saw you guys' comments and y'all said that I should have made it into a garlic bread bowl Alfredo. So I thought that was it. I think that's
super tender, and if you eat this with some rice, it is delicious. I'm gonna boil my spare ribs for about 5 minutes and drain. In some oil, you want to caramelize your rock sugar until it's golden brown. Toss in your ribs and you want to coat it evenly in the sugar. Add in your soy sauce, your Chinese cooking wine, black vinegar, and just enough water to cover the ribs. I'm gonna add in some slices of ginger, green onion, and star anise. You want to let that simmer for at least 25 to 30 minutes. Then turn up the heat to a high and you want to let that remaining liquid reduce until it's glossy and sticky. And I top mine off with some green onion and sesame seeds. It is so good. Try it out.
In this world, there's 2 types of crabs. The one that I'm holding in my hand and the one that I'm currently being treated for.
What?
Bro. No seafood is complete without a sauce, and this sauce that I made right here is just like a freestyle. I melted 2 sticks of unsalted butter, garlic, Creole seasoning, Old Bay, smoked paprika, and a little bit of lemon juice. Tasted it and it came out to be way too salty, so I had to add in some sugar, pepper, and cayenne pepper. Ah, that's more like it. I like that. Okay, crab legs are almost always pre-cooked on the boat so that it can preserve the freshness. So what we're doing right now is really just warming it up by steaming it. Look at this sauce pour. Huh?
That's the max. It is the max. That's the max.
Bro, I didn't have enough sauce, man. It evaporated. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Put it in a separate plate, garnish it with lemon slices and parsley. Listen, Valentine's Day is coming up this Sunday, and you probably don't have anyone to spend it with, so might as well make yourself some crab legs to numb the pain. Yeah.
I will eat pasta every single day. And no, I'm not gonna Postmates it, because I make the most delicious and easy pasta recipes. So if you want to make them too, hit the follow button, hit the share button, and let me take you to Pasta TikTok.
I'm gonna bring your best friend to Michael Jackson, I'ma beat it. Game undefeated. She look good in that bikini, but the winter time my favorite season. She gon' drop it in reverse. I Millie rock it in reverse.
That's 13, 14, 15, right? 32, 33, 34, yikes. Pull a VIP with a new cold line. Pull aside, hurry, get aside. Pull a 2 deep with the blunt smoke leak. I've been hot since noon last week. I don't give a fuck about none of you creeps. Hey, know me and get you found in the creek. So I'ma do me, walk to the sea. All she wanna do is ride with me. Can't fit 3 man, only 2 seat. So I go deep, 3B, too sleek.
Hey guys, let's make some baked feta pasta. First, add some grape tomatoes, 5 cloves of garlic, then add some olive oil on top. Put some salt, pepper, and oregano, and mix it up real good. Then you want to add 2 blocks of feta cheese. After that, you need to put it in the oven at 400 for 30 minutes. My mama put chicken in hers, but you don't have to. After you take it out of the oven, you need to smush everything real good. After you smush it, give it a good mix. Go ahead and add whatever pasta you want. And mix it up good. And put your chicken in. Keep on mixing, keep on mixing. The last thing to do is to put fresh basil in. My mama can cook. Bye guys!
Tonight we're making the famous feta cheese pasta Trader Joe's style. Start with cherry tomatoes and this amazing olive oil, salt, pepper, and for the best part, a big block of feta cheese. Add more olive oil on top and bake at 350 for 35 minutes. I can seriously see what all the hype is about. Look how creamy the sauce turns out. Add basil, garlic, and then toss in your pasta. I added the balsamic glaze on top and it was amazing.
Drop it on my car.
Today we're making mac and cheese. First step, you want to season your milk. Let that warm up take on all those flavors. Next step, you're making a roux. That's equal parts butter and flour. Make sure you cook that through for at least 2 or 3 minutes because you want all the flour to cook out. You don't want your sauce to taste floury. Strain off your milk, add that back into the roux, whisk that, let it thicken up, then add in your cheese. We're using extra mature cheddar. Next step, you want to season that. We're using mustard, salt and pepper. You can add in anything else. Then throw your macaroni straight back in there. Macaroni in the pot, that's that. Anyway, we're going to put that in some trays. As you can see, it's very, very thick, very creamy. It's almost a cross between Caribbean mac pie and a traditional mac and cheese. We're topping that with red Leicester cheese, so it's a slightly different flavor to the cheddar and gives it a nice golden color on top. You're going to top that again with panko breadcrumbs. Really, really nice for texture, and again gives it a golden color when it's cooked through. You want to fling that in the oven 20-25 minutes. When it comes out, it's going to be crispy, golden brown and ready to eat. If you want it more of like a mac pie consistency, let it cool first before you cut it.
Seriously, the best meal prep salad of all time. Used to take this to the office with me every single day. I never got sick of it. Here's how you make it. Measurements will all be listed at the end, but it's a base of mixed greens. I do some sliced strawberries, some goat cheese, and then the Minute organic quinoa single serve cups. You just pop it right in there, it's already done. Juicy chicken 101, about 6 ounces of that. 3 tablespoons of glazed pecans. And then 3 tablespoons of this raspberry walnut vinaigrette dressing. I buy these single serve dressing cups at the grocery store and just pop it right in. And you're ready to go. This is like gourmet restaurant style salad. So good.
I bought a whole prime brisket for $45.
I know what I'm gonna do. Smash burgers.
Here we go. First, I'm going to cut the brisket in smaller pieces so it's easier to manage. Next, I'm going to divide into 3 bowls. 1 being cubed marble pieces I'll use later for stews, 1 being mostly fat, and 1 being mostly lean. With the bowl of lean, I'm going to weigh it and then add 30% fat. Grind alternating fat and meat. Save this for burgers and meatballs. With the leftover fat, I'm going to bake in the oven at 250 for 1 hour, rendering a pound of beef tallow. I also yielded about 6 pounds of ground beef and 3.5 pounds of cubed marble beef for stews. Tonight we're making burgers. I'm going to whip up some secret sauce. Then I'm going to add 1 egg yolk, a teaspoon of salt, and a packet of gelatin to a pound of beef. Trust me, it's a game changer. Lightly cream just enough to bind together, roll into a ball, and then add to a ripping hot cast iron skillet. Go ahead and smash that down, sear 2 minutes, flip, add your cheese, and sear 1 more minute. Toast your buns over the rendered out fat in the pan. Add your favorite toppings, your sauce, and toasted bun. Enjoy!
This is a new recipe for me, broccoli and cheddar soup. And like always, everyone is welcome. Start by chopping half an onion. Gonna saute my onions in a tablespoon of butter. Set your onions to the side for now. Chop a pound of broccoli. Melt 1 stick of butter, ½ cup flour, and cook it in the butter for 2 to 3 minutes. Whisk in 4 cups of half and half, 4 cups chicken stock. Simmer about 15 minutes. Add your broccoli, a cup of matchstick carrots, onion. Just cook 20 to 25 minutes. A 1/4 teaspoon nutmeg, salt and pepper. Add a pound of shredded cheddar. After it's melted, remove from heat. This has got to be the cheesiest soup ever. I'm going to serve mine with some cheese bread. So, one of my favorite desserts has always been banana splits, but I hate how you have to try so hard to get a little bit of everything in each bite. So years ago, I made up banana bowls. Key is to make everything bite-sized before you even start. I could eat my weight in wet walnuts, but all they are is crushed up walnuts and corn syrup. You can make your own. Way cheaper. This fudge and caramel are awesome. You just pop the tops and heat them up for 30 seconds and they're good to go. I like vanilla ice cream and I top it with chopped up strawberries. Then bananas cut into bite-sized pieces. I love hot fudge, a little bit of caramel, and then I top with my homemade wet walnuts. The best thing about a banana split in a bowl, you get a little bit of everything in each bite. Do you like chocolate and peanut butter? If you do, you're gonna love this dessert. Come on in, let's try it out. Heat your oven to 350. Follow the directions on this brownie mix, but don't cook it yet. Spray inside your muffin tin. I've got peanut butter cookies. You could also use chocolate chip and just put 1 inside of each. Once you get your cookie dough in the bottom of each of them, open up a full-size Reese cup and put 1 in each container. 1/8 cup of brownie batter on top of each Reese cup. Put these in the oven for about 18 to 20 minutes. I cooked mine 20 minutes.
Want to know how to make these gorgeous sausage rolls, then keep watching. So I'm going to start by dicing an onion and then cooking it so it softens for about 10 minutes. Then with 6 sausages, I'm going to cut down the middle and get the sausage meat out and pop that in a bowl. I'm adding some sage. Onions are soft, add them to your sausage meat. Then you want to give everything a good mix together. Roll out your pastry. Lay out the sausage meat on one side of your pastry. Egg wash, just do that on the side. It will help the pastry stick together. I'm also going to do this edge here. And my pastry is really sticky, so I'm just going to roll it like this. And then slice into mini sausage rolls. You want to pop them on a baking tray and just brush the top of each one with the same egg wash. And then you want to put them all in the oven for about 25-30 minutes. And that's how you make these lovely sausage rolls.
My absolute favorite dish to cook is braised short ribs. Season your short ribs with salt and pepper, then sear in a large heavy bottom pot for about 1.5 minutes each side in your searing fat of choice. I'm using bacon fat. Set the meat aside, then back to the pot, add a mirepoix, 1 large onion, 4 carrots, and 4 celery ribs. Saute for 5 minutes, then add 1 tablespoon tomato paste, 3 tablespoons flour. Cook for 5 minutes until it deepens in color, then add an entire bottle of red wine. Here I'm using Cabernet. Add your short ribs back to the pot, then cook on medium until the wine has reduced by half, about 30 minutes. Next, add 4 cups beef stock, then add your herbs. Here I have rosemary, thyme, parsley, bay leaves, and half a head of garlic. Tuck those into the braising liquid, cover loosely, and place in the oven at 325 for 2.5 hours. Remove the short ribs very gently, they're fall off bone right now, then strain your braising liquid. Season your braising liquid, then pour over your plated finished product. Enjoy!
Why does nobody talk about how easy it is to make caramel? Filtered water BC. I am a rich bitch. Stir, 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 stir. Please do not burn. I love butter. Heavy cream fill up those arteries. I spilled melted butter. Mixy mix. Let cool down unless you like pain. Very healthy meal. Yum, yum, yum.
Don't even ask at this point. I don't know what's going on with me. I need help. I have no words. This is Salt Spring Island flour goat cheese. It has a flower on the bottom. So gorgeous. Onion powder, garlic powder, parsley, crushed red pepper flakes, oregano, some pepper. She looks like a beaut. Let's cover her. I had to uncover her because she's just so pretty. Let's take this off. Now let's blend her. She's ready. I bought some edible flowers to put in it after we put this one in the middle. You guys, I think this is the most gorgeous one ever.
I hope they know about the tagging. You know this cookie's for the bag. Kitty, kitty, baby, get her things to rest. Cause you done beat it like the 68 Jets. Diamonds are nothing when I'm rockin' with ya. Diamonds are nothing when I'm shining with ya. Just keep it white and black as if I'm your sister. I'm too hip to hop around town, I get with ya. I heard that pussy for the taking. I heard they got these other niggas going crazy. Yeah, I treat you like a lady, lady. Fuck you till you burned out, cremation. Make it cream, yeah, Wu-Tang. Throw that ass back, Wu-Tang. Call me and I can get it Tuesday. I can tell you gone off the doors. I hope you know about the taking. You know this cookie's for the bagging. I heard that pussy for the taking. I heard they got these other niggas going crazy. I hope you know about the taking. You know this cookie's for the bagging. Yeah, I treat you like a lady, lady. Fuck you till you burned out, cremation. I know I get wild, wild, wild.
Today is my mom's birthday, so I decided to make her some B-Day pancakes. They're just buttermilk pancakes with sprinkles in them. She reads all my comments, so if y'all want to wish her a happy birthday, she'll see it. Thanks. Happy birthday, Mom.
Here's why I'm so insecure about my big ass feet. So going into freshman year of high school, we would have to wear uniforms. So the only thing we could wear different are shoes. My mom took me to the Foot Locker. Y'all know all the young and fine people be in Foot Locker, child. Even back then. Mind you, we would get my shoes online. We would go in the store, look. If we liked it, we would buy it online. So we see this cute little pair. My mom's like, I don't know if it's going to fit. It look a little tight. I'm like, no, I just got to get my size. It's going to be fine. She's like, no, I think you need to try it on. Tell me why this woman yells across the Foot Locker to the fine employee, excuse me, son. Can she get a size 11 wide? Tell me why it echoed across the Foot Locker like we was in a stadium. Then I peeked to my right and a group of kids my age talking about some, damn, she got the flippers.
And there will come a soldier who carries a mighty sword. He will tear your city down, or lay a lie low, or lay a lie tear your city down. Olay, olay, olay. And there will come a poet whose weapon is a sword. He will slay you with his tongue. Olay, olay, olay. Olay, olay, olay. He will slay you with his tongue. Olay, olay, olay.
Did you know you only need 2 ingredients for these cookies? Start off with some Nutella in a bowl and add some flour and mix till it's all combined. Get your hands in and grab a blob of dough. Roll it out on your hands and place on the tray. Give it a squeeze with the spoon and chuck it in the oven to bake. Anyone can make these cookies, they taste banging and they're so gooey.
Let's do some cooking.